Hello students of class 11, a very warm welcome to all of you. Today we are going to start with a poem. You have 5 poems in your syllabus. First is Upon Westminster Bridge, then Meeting at Night, The Sick Rose, Brotherhood and Daybreak. Today we are going to concentrate on the first poem, that is Upon Westminster Bridge, written by William Wordsworth. Now, upon Westminster Bridge, if you look into your books, you will see the word composed written, above. The actual title of the poem is Lines Composed Upon Westminster Bridge, September 3, 1802. Now, about William Wordsworth, I think that all of you have read poems of William Wordsworth, especially Daffodils and Solitary Reaper, sometime or the other in school, and you are familiar with Wordsworth, where in Daffodils, where he describes the daffodils, and the Solitary Reaper, where he talks about the Highland Lass, the song of the Highland Lass. Now, in this, and he is a romantic poet, one of the leaders, or rather the pioneers of the romantic movement, along with the rest, that is Coleridge, Shelley, Keats and Byron. And his noted works include Lines composed a few miles above Tintern Abbey, Ode to Intimations of Immortality, Prelude. These are few that's given in your book. There are many others. Now, coming to the poem here, Upon Westminster Bridge, this was actually, Wordsworth was traveling from London to Dover, in France, and when he was passing by, it was very early in the morning, and when he was passing by the Westminster Bridge, all of a sudden, when he was just passing by the Westminster Bridge, when suddenly he looked at the city, he was just taken in by the beauty of it. He was like, it was an entirely new London city that was in front of him, and this poem is a celebration of the city of London in the early hours of the morning. Now, exactly what is in your book, it is written that it is that he is touched by the untainted beauty of the morning over the city of London. He is he describes the pure and peaceful beauty of his city before the bustle and hustle of the day have started. The poet is moved by the somnolent beauty, that is the somnolent is the sleeping, as though the whole London city is sleeping, because it's very early in the morning, the activities have not started. That wraps up the city in tranquility. Tranquility is the peace and the calm and the silence of the city. Now, I have written this poem in a gist that Wordsworth is mesmerized by the beauty of the London city in the early hours of the morning. According to him, earth has not anything to show more fair. He is so much touched by the beauty of the city that he says that I think there is nothing more beautiful here. Fair is no more beautiful than the city of London, which I see right now in front of my eyes. It is not the city of London that I know genuinely. The city is calm, silent and smokeless. All the man-made structures are clearly visible. The London city is yet to begin its activity, and that is, the last line suggests it. Now, Let me first, now this poem is also a sonnet, and sonnet, as you know, is a 14-line poem which is divided into two, the octave and the sestet. Now let me go through the poem once. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Dull would be of soul who would pass by a sight so touching in its majesty. The city now doth, like a garment wear, the beauty of the morning, silent, bare. Ships, towers, domes, theatres, and temples lie open unto the fields and to the sky, all bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Never did the sun more beautifully steep in his first splendor. In his first splendor, valley, rock, or hill. I never felt a calm so deep. The river glided at his own sweet will. Dear God, the very houses seem asleep, and all that mighty heart is lying still. So he begins with a line that earth has not anything to show more fair. That is, he is going on to say, of course, there are many other sights which can be beautiful than this, but his, he's so odd, okay, that means the impact on Wordsworth is to such an extent that he goes on to say, earth has not anything to show more fair, which is a hyperbole. Hyperbole is a kind of is a figure of speech that wherein things are exaggerated. So earth has not anything to show more fair. That is, according to the poet, this is the loveliest sight, is the most beautiful sight he has ever seen. Dull would be the soul, would be of soul, who could pass by a sight so touching in its majesty. So he says that if somebody just passes by without appreciating the beauty of this morning, means without appreciating the beauty of the city in this early hours of the morning, then he would be dull of soul. Dull of soul means he doesn't have a sense of beauty. He lacks an eye for beauty. He lacks a sense of beauty. That is, he doesn't have an aesthetic sense. A sight so touching in its majesty. That is, I cannot take off my eyes. It is so beautiful. So a sight so touching in its majesty. Why is the sight so touching? The city now doth. The city, see, the C is written in capital. That is, he is personifying the city. What is he saying? The city now doth. Doth is a we don't use it. It is an old usage which means does. Okay. The city now doth like a garment wear. What does it wear? The beauty of the morning. We wear garments to make ourselves beautiful. So it seems that seeing the city in that early hours, it appears to Wordsworth as though the city of London has worn the beauty of the morning like a garment. Okay, silent, bare. Silent, why? Because it is calm. Okay, everybody, no activities have started as yet. Okay, everybody is sleeping in their houses. So that is the reason why it is calm, bare. Okay, bare means one meaning is that this tranquility, this calmness, silence is bare. Okay, and another bear is like this. The city has worn kind of a new attire, or this beauty of the morning, which I can see the city is wearing right now, will be taken off only in a short while, once the activity, the usual activity begins. That is, we know that that London is the busiest city. So that way, this is not the, in one way what the poet is trying to tell us, that this is not the actual, means actual scene of London. Okay, what he's seeing is London in an entirely new dress. Okay, so that is the meaning. The beauty of the morning, silent and bare. That is bare. Another thing is, it is since no activity has begun, there is no smoke, nothing. It is complete. It's unpolluted in every way. So, what is happening? Ships, towers, domes, theatres, and temples lie open unto the fields. So, standing on the Westminster Bridge, ships, of course, the Westminster Bridge is upon the Thames River, so ships are there. Okay, and those ships are also in a standstill position. So, you can see ships, towers, the towers. Buildings, domes, see, these are all man-made structures that he's talking of. Ships, towers, domes, theatres, temples lie open unto the fields. That since it is silent, it's unpolluted, it's smokeless, so he can see a long stretch of the city right from there, and it is looking beautiful when the sunlight is first rays of the sun are falling on it. Lie unto the fields and to the sky. That is the tall towers he's talking of, unto the sky. And another meaning of and to the sky means, he can see the fields, and as though the fields are merged. That is, he can see the horizon on the other side. So, and to the sky, all bright and glittering. Yes, since it's very early in the morning, okay, the air is very fresh, okay, no activity has started, so everything is very bright and glittering in the smokeless air. So once again, he is emphasizing on the smokeless air. That is, since it is all silent, everybody is in their houses, so the air is smokeless. So till this is the octave. We stop here today. We'll do the rest of it in the next class. Thank you.